trading. Caption.
I feel like you should leave that in.
Just another Magic Monday.
Didnee! What are you doing? Hey guys! Welcome back to our Didnee side! We're gonna keep our ears on for this video just because we just took our share your ears selfie and we just want to feel fancy, so
Like, come on, look at these.
enjoy!
Cheryl made them. Like, yeah.
So if you're not sure what the share your ears picture thing is all about, what it is Disney is going to donate $5 to Make-A-Wish Foundation for every person that posts a picture with their variation of Mickey mini ears to Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Get close to me! Share your ears, guys! Aw, I like that one. Cute! Because you could just see that we were taking a ridiculous picture. Now let's get to the video. Yay! This week we thought we would introduce you guys to pin trading because some of you might not be familiar with it. You might be asking questions because, you know, we had our pin video last week. You might be wondering what the heck is pin trading, and you might be interested in getting involved. So we thought we would just kind of break it down into a few categories, kind of like the frequently asked questions about pin trading.
Yeah. If you have any other questions that we haven't covered here, you can leave them down below and we'll get back to you.
So we're posting this video kind of at an appropriate time because Disney pin trading kind of celebrated a bit of a milestone. They just had like their Sweet 16, I guess, because back in 1999, Disney pin trading started in Disneyland. Disneyland! Disneyland!
Pin trading is exactly what it sounds like. It's trading pins.
Little pieces of metal with characters and stuff. To get started with pin trading, you kind of just decide whether you want to start a collection of a certain kind, like characters, films, that sort of thing.
Or just pick whatever you like. You don't have to do a collection.
Yeah, if it's pretty, keep it.
Yeah.
So as far as who you can trade with, when you're at the Disney parks, you can trade with any cast member that has a lanyard or like they have like a little pouch thing that has pins on it.
There's also been people with like full books.
Oh yeah.
Disneyland, there was like a full book and I'm like, ah.
And sometimes stores will actually prop up like special pin boards or like even like just props that they've actually made just for pin trading. It's really cool. So keep an eye out at the parks. We've got lots of cool stuff.
Yeah. With trading with cast members, you can trade up to 2 pins per person. So if there's multiple cast members, you can do multiple trades, just 2 per cast member per person.
Yes. And the great thing about trading with a cast member is they actually aren't allowed to say no to your offer. So it's kind of part of their job description to pin trade.
Yeah.
So even if you have a pin that might not be as valuable as one that's on their lanyard, they can't turn it down. So you can say trade a hidden Mickey for a rack pin. We'll get to that after if you're not sure what we're talking about, but we're getting to that. So if you're kind of, you know, more of an introvert, kind of social anxiety, cast members are totally cool with pin trading. You don't have to worry about them saying no to you. Just go ahead, ask them to show off their pins, and if you see anything you like, don't be afraid to trade.
But if you're brave enough to actually go to a person and ask to trade, you can trade with other park guests. They can say no though, because, you know, it's their pins that they have bought or traded.
Yeah, the ones that are on cast members are kind of provided by Disney parks for them. It's kind of part of their uniform.
Yeah. There are many different types of pins out there, so we'll break down like all the different kinds.
First off, there are rack pins. These are commonly found in Disney parks retail stores, sometimes even Disney store, even if you're not at the parks, you might find some pins at the Disney store.
Especially if it's like New York or someplace. Like,
yeah, like a landmark store.
Yeah, like I've got one from New York that Cheryl got me.
Cute. It's from Times Square. Yeah. But if you're at the Disney parks, you will probably find walls and walls of these pins. They're generally 1 pin per card, sometimes 2. But I believe they start anywhere from like $7 upwards.
Another common one is hidden Mickeys. You can only get them through cast members on like the lanyards or the little books or whatever.
That is if you're finding them new. I guess, yeah, you can find them on other people too, but like where they originate is from a cast member.
Yeah.
Again, they're provided by Disney, and that's how they circulate into collectors' collections. And much like rack pins, another type of pin you can find a lot of in Disney retail stores are booster pack pins. So these are like pre-made sets that, you know, they might be like $20, $25, but you get like 5 to 8 pins from like a series sort of thing.
Yeah, and they sometimes are with lanyards.
Sometimes, yeah, you can get starter packs with a lanyard and all that good stuff. If you're looking for a good way to start out with trading, a good way to start is with a booster pack, because then you have all those pins that you can just kind of trade with people, and yeah, usually they're a pretty good selection.
One of our favorite things is mystery pins, because it's always a surprise.
They're awesome. You can get, I know at the counter at the retail stores you can get single packs, but then I know you can also get some packs have 2, some have 5. There's all different sizes of mystery pins that you can get, and they're awesome because you can see if you get something you collect. If you don't, you trade it. It's great.
Yeah.
Limited edition. The best. Very sought after. Sometimes hard to find.
Very expensive.
They aggravate me to no end because they're always very pretty and everybody wants them.
How limited edition pins work is Disney only manufactures a certain amount of pins. So you could have a limited edition of 300, which is like, there's only 300 made the entire time. There can be like 5,000 or whatever, but like they're very good pins.
Yes. And essentially the lower the number, the more value they are.
Yeah.
Heads up guys, if you're just starting out, you're either going to be expecting to trade a lot of pins or pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
Word of warning. If you're wondering why I've been on a pin hiatus, it's because of planning this trip. If that gives you any idea what kind of money I've been spending on pins, I had to stop so I could go to Disney. Similar to limited edition pins, there's also limited release pins. These are kind of a little bit more valuable because there might not be as many, but it's not because there's a limited amount, it's because they've been released for a limited time. So say for like an event, like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party or something like that, they might release pins for that event and only sell it at the event. Stuff like that. There's also mystery boxes that are limited release, but on the back of the pin it'll actually state whether it's limited release, limited edition, all that stuff. So if you're trading the parks, always pay attention to the back of your pin because it might say something special. So maybe you might have something valuable, who knows? Katie hasn't had much experience with fantasy pins yet, but we will also talk about fantasy pins as they have recently exploded in the pin world. So they've been around in the past, but they were just kind of a small trickle of people making them. But recently there's been a boom. People have found people that can actually make pins that are very much the same quality as Disney pins. So they just send in their own designs of, say, something that they want in their collection that Disney hasn't created. And it's kind of, for me, I don't know how I feel about it, just because I do collect authentic pins. Like, I do like that all these scenes are coming out, but the fact that the people who are reselling them are selling them like they are legit Disney pins, and it's kind of like a letdown, I guess. Really, fantasy pins can only be traded with people that know that it's a fantasy pin and they're okay with it being a fantasy pin, so it's harder to trade them. One of the other reasons that fantasy pins are kind of frowned upon by some people is the controversy of counterfeit pins, because there's been counterfeit pins in pin trading for a very long time. Most of the time it's been hidden Mickeys, stuff like that. But now that people know that you can pretty much make any pin, it makes you wonder what's real, what's fake, all that stuff.
You gotta be very careful about the counterfeit pins. Scrappers.
Yes. But stay tuned to our channel because we are going to talk about that as well. Not going to cover it in this video just because there are a lot of tips to figuring out if you have a fake pin or not.
If you're not at Disney, you're probably wondering, okay, where can I buy some pins for a good price?
We have a lot of recommendations for you. I have experienced many of them firsthand and can definitely say the pros and cons of all of them.
Yeah.
I've gotten them from Facebook pin groups and pin pages. If you do your research, you can usually find some very reliable resellers. You can also find discount resellers on Facebook and Instagram, stuff like that. Like one that we personally recommend is Booster Packs and Beyond. If you watched our previous video of us opening mystery pin packs, we also have more coming, stay tuned. But we have been super impressed by their products. So check out them on Facebook.
It'll be rare, but keep an eye out on comic book stores and thrift stores. Cheryl was lucky enough to get some, so it's out there, but just keep an eye out on them. It could happen.
I definitely recommend Instagram. With gaining experience, you'll probably get a lot of followers and make a lot of pin trading friends, and they'll probably lead you to good sellers. Like, say you're looking for a certain pin, they might tag you in somebody's post where somebody's selling it or trading it, and it's just an awesome way to trade. You can get pins on eBay, but please, please, please do your research. We have had our experiences with eBay when we were new with trading, and it was kind of, we felt ashamed after, just because we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
You can get your pins from eBay if you do your research. If you're hoping to get authentic pins, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
You can, but generally,
rare.
generally you really gotta research it, make sure they're a reliable source.
Yeah.
Buyer beware. Woo!
Obviously, you can trade in the parks. Keep an eye out for pin boards that pop up with cast members at a certain time.
They might just pop up for fun.
Yay! And you can go up to people and ask them to trade.
Whether it be a cast member or a guest.
Yeah.
And much like the parks with their designated pinboard times, your resorts might also have one. So if you're staying on property with Disney, check with your concierge. They might actually have a designated pin trading time. So you might want to check back.
Yeah. You might be surprised at how much pin trading actually happens in downtown Disney and Disney Springs.
Disney Springs actually has an entire store devoted to pin trading. And they also have designated pin trading times.
The great thing about it is you don't need park admission, so you can just go there and trade.
And keep an eye out, because going back to limited edition pins, sometimes downtown Disney / Disney Springs might have a limited edition pin release. So you'll want to keep your eyes and ears open for that. And speaking of limited edition releases, if you're on the West Coast, you gotta check out Disney Soda Fountain. I haven't been there in person, but I have lots of pins from there, and they're all awesome pins. And if you aren't planning a trip to Disney anytime soon and you still want to get into pin trading, don't fret. You can still do pin trading through the mail, online, stuff like that. It can be stressful at times. You have to be kind of like buyer beware sort of thing. But if you do your research, find some reliable sources, you can actually have a lot of fun doing pin trading through the mail. And we've lucked out finding pin trading events. We're actually going to a pin trading event tomorrow. We're so excited. It's just a bunch of local Canadian Disney addicts, and we're gonna get together for pin trading, vinylmation trading, Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Yes.
I actually have pins to trade now.
Yay! As much fun as we want to have, there are still some rules we should really go by.
You can only trade pins that are made of metal, and on the back they either have the official trading logo or Disney copyright thing on the back.
Be polite and don't touch other people's lanyards. This includes cast members and just guests. I mean, really, if somebody was to run up to you and just start touching your stuff, would you really like it? No.
It's creepy and weird. Don't touch me. When trading with cast members, if they already have a pin on their board or lanyard, you can't trade the same one. You have to trade something different.
Yeah, because otherwise their pin board or lanyard might have like 5 of the same pin.
Yeah.
And that's no fun for anybody.
Nah.
Pins need to be in good condition for trading. If it's a pin that you wouldn't want to take for yourself, chances are nobody else wants to either. So, you know, chip paint, scratches, all that sort of stuff, bent backs, nobody really wants those. So just make sure your pin's in really good shape before you trade it.
When trading with another pin trader, trade one at a time, so like you don't give them 5 and then they go, thank you, and run. Bye!
It's safe to do like hand-to-hand trading one at a time.
Yeah.
It's just better for everybody.
It's safe.
And another thing you can do that's considerate for anybody you're trading with is before you pass your pin off, make sure you got the Mickey back on the back so it just prevents any stabby. That's no fun.
No. Oh, look, I've been impaled.
So though you can buy used pins from outside of Disney parks, it's not permitted for you to purchase pins from anyone other than a retail store on Disney property.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
No.
Disney be mad at you.
You're kicked out. Oh no! Can you be kicked out?
I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
No! A lot of people are probably going to mention to you that buying bulk pins on eBay is the best way to go because you might buy like 50 pins for 20 bucks. And yes, that's a great deal, but
they're not official. They're scrappers.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, more like 9.9 times out of 10, they're probably going to be fake pins.
A lot of the sellers will say that it is 100% tradable.
And that's true. But the reason for that is a cast member is not going to make a stink if they know it's a fake pin, because really they want everybody to have happy sunshine days at Disney World. So yeah. They're not going to make a big fuss over a little piece of metal. So yes, you can trade those pins. The question is, should you? Our opinion is it's not really fair for other traders that are trying to collect authentic pins, because then all these fake pins are in circulation. It just really takes the fun out of it. Yes, I know a lot of people do keep them just because they're pretty, but for us, coming from another country, collecting authentic pins is important.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just keep it in mind.
One thing you'll notice is that these scrapper pins aren't as good of quality. They don't look as nice, but we'll talk about that in the other video that we're going to do.
Yeah, we're hoping to do a comparison video of like real versus fake sort of thing, so you can really see the true quality of a Disney pin.
And it's sometimes quite noticeable.
Yeah.
One thing we'll mention about pin trading. Before you begin, just know that it is a very expensive habit.
At least it can be.
If you get addicted, it will it'll get expensive.
Like I said, I had to stop pin trading so I could go to Disney World.
So she could afford
a vacation. But I think that pretty much sums up everything. If we have missed something that you have questions about, feel free to leave a comment below and we will be more than happy to comment back and hopefully answer your question.
If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe because we have lots of pin videos to come, and then we're going to Disney World. So there will be like so many videos for that. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys.